Q3 was good. The rest was all a bit hectic, just trying to follow the track, which seemed quite difficult out there. But at the end, of course, the most important is Q3, and that's where we could really put it together. So very happy with that.
Well, on one hand, it feels good because I think it's not to underestimate how much I struggled in those conditions a few races ago. And as I kept saying during those times, I was working a lot on my driving in order to get better. And today I was really at ease with the car. I think in Q3 we maybe didn't do everything right as we went a bit too early, but at the end it's risk vs rewards. We wanted to go early to avoid any yellow flags, but the track was drying up. We maybe lost a little bit of time, but it wouldn't have been enough to be in front of Max anyway.
It's always good, It's always good to be up here, have a good place for the qualifying, but and for the race. But all that matters is what we do on Sundays. So my main objective is to get as high up as possible on that Sunday.
I was just head down, just maximizing as much as I could. At the end, still good chunk off Max. Pretty impressive, but I'm really happy with the result that we got.
You're in a great spot for Sunday, P3 on the grid. I know, like you said, Red Bull's let Bitey here, but like a good result and a podium maybe is possible?
I guess I have Max behind, but that'll be the goal, of course, to chase those guys down. I think with the limit, P1, no one really got any running, it's wet runnings, and getting the setup ready for qualifying today when it eventually went to dry is just like a big guessing game. And so I'm hoping that the car's decent in the long run tomorrow in the race. But so far it's a good start.
Yeah, very tricky conditions. Every time we were going out on track were completely different. Managed to went nicely through Q1 and Q2, and then Q3 on that last lap. Yeah, didn't do, to be honest, one of my best laps at all. We had quite a big moment in turn 8 and 9, which cost me probably some positions, but overall happy to go through qualifying and in such tricky conditions and make it to a top 5.
Given the last 2 weekends, I almost feel a little bit disappointed with P6, but no, we were having a very, very strong session. Maybe the last part wasn't amazing. I think as the track dried, it was getting more back to normal, let's say, but that's not normal for me because I've never done a lap in an F1 car here. So I think I was just lacking a bit of confidence at the end. To push. It dried up maybe a bit more than I thought, and I was quite enjoying the mixed conditions. So a shame that we can't be a bit higher. It's obviously quite close, but it's in a decent spot for Sunday. Obviously Max has got a penalty, so we're 5th on the grid, 6th at turn 1. Not a bad day's work.
We're definitely not as quick. I mean, we're a long way off where we were in the last few races. Our straight line speed's pretty poor, but Oscar did a good, like his middle sector's only 2/10 off Verstappen, who's like 6/10 quicker than everyone else in the middle sector. So I think there's some positive signs. Hopefully that turns into better race pace. But I think we would have been definitely more up there if I didn't go off in Q1.
Yeah, I mean, it was a dynamic session, but just being off the pace, to be honest, just struggled in that session. Don't really know why. I usually love those transitional sessions, but every lap we were nowhere. So a bit to try and review, understand. We know qualifying's not everything around here, but definitely would have liked to have been higher up the order.
I think the car was behaving well and giving me the right inputs when I was doing and trying something. So the car was performing well today, but we're still missing these couple of tenths compared to some of the main competitors, especially on one lap. Hopefully on Sunday we can recover.
Do you think if it had stayed wet a bit more would have been possible? How is it feeling for you?
Tricky. I mean, still it was very wet for slick tires in Q2, which is always a challenge.
Mixed feeling. I would say the pace was pretty good, and I think lap I did was I'm pretty happy with it. Just like most of the car was behind me, and they're able to use the opportunity, but at the same time, it was my team decision, my decision. I didn't expect dry is gonna be faster, but the team brings me into the pit and put in the softs, which was in the end right direction, right decision. So thanks for them. But I think those things I should be better probably to probably more inform well and switch the soft earlier than what we done, but in the end, still happy with it.
We're not in an ideal position, but the lap was clean. I was a bit close to Magnussen in front, but we did the best we could, and we know we didn't set up the car for these conditions. Should be a bit better for Sunday, racing wise. So we're not that far from the points, and then we'll try everything to get some points.
You know, those conditions are where you can make it or break it. You know, it's everything to play for, and that's what we like. You know, I enjoy those conditions, but today didn't quite maximize it, but also not too bad. So okay,
we didn't get it right today, which is not great, but at least felt like at times we had a decent pace.
And what about the sprint tomorrow? Similar conditions expected. You're looking forward to that, a bit of a reset, come back, have another go?
I think it's going to be another interesting qualifying, but based on the feeling with the car today, I'm looking forward to it. I think we have more pace than what the result shows today.
We were on for a very good one. Unfortunately, that mistake is on me. Obviously, I missed the corner, but we had plenty of time to go again if we had managed to change the front wing. Unfortunately, the front wing wasn't ready. It took like 30 seconds or 40 seconds to find it, and from there, obviously we couldn't go again and we couldn't retry. So, mistake on my side, mistake on the team side. It's not good for us today. It's a mistake that I don't accept. I don't want to be doing these things. I do them very rarely, but when it happens, we need to be on top of them, and we haven't been on top from one side or the other, my side or the team side. So today, we missed it.
I don't think we've really got the downforce for that kind of weather. Just like greasy sliding weather, it overheats the tyres so quickly, and the less downforce you have, the more you overheat. So we were struggling to finish that without the tyres going off. But that's it. I think unfortunately it wasn't really our day today. Better to be either fully wet or fully dry, but this weather is a bit tricky for us. So shame, but we'll see tomorrow.
Last lap, obviously, unfortunately, I made a mistake, but also a little bit miscommunication together. So already sector 1, half second up. I think we'll be easily through, but unfortunately, got some of the advice moving forward with the bias, and then locked up, especially in sector 2 where there's more water. So unfortunately, but let's ice forward for Sunday.
Disappointing for sure. I think, knowing our potential coming here, I think in this condition we always struggle a bit when the track's drying, and just heavily compromised, being delayed. But I mean, still, big thank you to the team. I mean, they put in the effort to at least get us out there, which is always nice. And it's a tough one.
I basically tried to take Eau Rouge flat. I thought it was possible, and I just felt I was just drifting off then the good line, and I had to lift to try and just stay on track, and it was just drifting. And as soon as I got over that kind of turn 4 curb, like where I, let's say did track limits, I knew, I was like, I think that was probably over. So obviously I tried to put it behind me and just keep going on the lap and see. You never know, like we have an idea when we're off, but you never really know. So obviously kept pushing. But it was, I think in the end it's frustrating when you obviously do the track limits and you also lose time. So, I thought it was possible. It wasn't quite yet.
Yeah, we had a technical issue on the car that happened during the first run, so we had to box, try to fix it, but didn't get out in time to set another lap time. And obviously at the end the track was drying and getting quicker and quicker, so that means we were left in last.